I thought we'd take this opportunity to not only talk about our travel hacks, but also our travel whacks. I don't know if you see what.
We did spend about £20 on a pair of socks.
No. We were saving socks till the end.
Could have been more.
It was 28.
£28 on socks.
We'll get to start off with something we definitely recommend is free walking tours. There's a great app called KIWI-CODE, the free walking tours ran by locals. Make sure you do give a donation at the end, especially if you had a great tour. But the best way to get to know any place is definitely by going on a tour with a local. We had an absolutely amazing free walking tour. We were in San Cristobal de las Casas, where we learned so much about the culture, and it was really one of the highlights of our trip. One of our travel whacks, this is where we went wrong. We were either hungry, tired, or both. And this is when the absolute worst happens. Starts off when we first got to Mexico. We got in a very expensive taxi.
Oh yeah, we did. It was maybe £6 in the end, and it should have been £3. Oh no!
No, it was like 20
It should have been £6 and we paid about 20 quid.
I was really tired as well when I picked that, and I should have known because I've been told the official taxis you want to look for, they're pink and black. This one wasn't pink and black, and I just let myself be caught up in the hustle and bustle of the, are you for a taxi, are you looking for a taxi? And was just kind of like, yeah. And then we ended up paying the tourist tax. I'd always advise, first of all, find out what the official taxis are, or move a little bit out of the airport and get an Uber. Afterwards, we got Ubers and they were so well priced. I think even like a half an hour trip was just like probably like $10. When we were in Costa Rica, which is famously like the most expensive region in that area, we managed to stay on a hotel that was like literally on the beach. It was less than a 5-minute walk from your room to the beach. We managed to get that for about $50 a night, which is really good pricing for Costa Rica. So if you're willing to sleep in like a truly deadly and treacherous bunk bed, one so treacherous that we gave up and just shared. We topped and tailed it.
I wouldn't have slept. I would have just feared for your life sleeping on the top of there. I would have just fallen. And
there were like no sides. It was just...
It was also like not held together.
It was not helpful.
Yeah.
So that's a recommendation, I guess.
Yeah.
How can I forget the biggest recommendation, which is obviously get travel insurance.
Risk your life to be by the beach.
Like such an underrated and one of the best travel hacks is either meeting people that speak the native language and befriending them, or just getting better at the language. And for us that was Spanish. We ended up going to more local areas to eat, eating local prices, places where, you know, they don't even necessarily have menus. You just go in and ask for something.
I was in El Salvador. We met an El Salvadorian.
Like me.
And it was literally like, they took us out for dinner. There was no menus. El Salvadorian dishes called pupusas, I believe. And they, pupusa con queso, pupusa con carne. We were just like, and it was $1 for pupusas.
We may as well end on a low. I'd say the lowest part of this trip, the time where I felt like the biggest dummy, when we were in Costa Rica, and because we only used carry-on, which is another great travel hack tip, by the way, to save money.
Not only do you save money, but you also save time. There's nothing better than getting off a plane and just being able to leave that airport. Through Kiwi.com, we actually did a self-transfer hack that meant we got to stay the day in Oslo, Norway, before we went on our trip, which is just about the opposite vibe of all the places we went, but that just made it even more fun. If you're looking to travel, definitely consider a self-transfer hack with Kiwi. Not bad for 12 hours.
We were running a bit low on socks, and I thought, you know what? I'll buy some socks. May as well while I'm here. It'll be like a nice memory. And I'm quite tired. And we kind of go into this shop, and Dan, bless him, is like taking the lead and being like, do you have any socks? How much is that? And they give us and this is the problem. Never ever agree to buy something in a foreign country without finding out how much it is. This is something I knew, but my brain was on a lag, and this all just happened in front of my eyes.
We just got off like a 9-hour bus
Pretty
You hadn't
hardcore.
taken your search relief.
I'm taking my search.
You were already like a fiery
So
demon.
then Dan's like, and how much will that be? And they give us this price in colones, which is the currency. In my head, I'm like, oh my God, I feel like that's a lot of money. We walk out and I'm like, Dan, is that a lot of money? And I think we spent about $30 to $35.
We got 4 socks, 2 pairs. One had parrots on. Very nice.
I was gagged. Like, what's the point in sleeping in a bunk bed if you're gonna then blow all that money on socks?
That's why we could afford the socks. Because we slept in a bunk bed. Then you ate a burger. I thought you were going to kill me. And then you ate a burger and then everything was fine.
Yeah.
We were poor. But...
And the best travel hack of all is to just not be put off when things go wrong, because things are going to go wrong, especially if you're going to a place you've never been before. And instead, just to find the silver lining in everything. Like he says, my silver lining was I got a burger, and by the time I'm eating a burger, I'm like, I'm in Costa Rica. It definitely could be worse than being overcharged for a process.
Look at me in my pie chart era. Anyways, this is the one I made for Mexico. And this is the price for 2 people staying in private rooms. As you can see, some of our biggest outgoings were actually travel, like cars and buses and things like that. The cost of food in a lot of these places is actually really cheap. We were caught off guard in El Salvador because we weren't even there long, but the closest grocery store was an hour away, so we had to eat out all the time. And we only met the nice El Salvadoran on the last day. As you can see, also our biggest expenditure in Costa Rica was definitely travel. We had a lot to see in a few days. Overall, including our flights, it came to about €5,903 for 2 people.